So I think our next question, we can make it a lightning round maybe, to try and get in more questions in the time. Do you have any suggestions about essential skills required to get a job at your institution? Jonathan.
So I think the short answer is there's no single answer there. So I found being quite a generalist to be a very useful skill in terms of the kind of work I do, but within volcanology, there's some generalists like me, and then there's also some very specific subject matter experts where their exact expertise, their research, their publication record is really important. So our team is composed of kind of both of those sets, and both of them can find a place in volcano monitoring.
Great. Haru, do you have any thoughts on that?
It's difficult to simply answer. Yeah. Our Volcano Research Center have several aspects. One is research, two education, teaching, and three operation observation system. So each piece of needs skills, but it's difficult to focus on one skill. Teaching skill necessary, researching skill also necessary, and conducting observation skill also necessary. Recently, we have a lot of data, big data, so increasing demand of program skill, increasing, I think, but we don't have a programmer here. So faculty member do analyze the big data, their own program skills. So I hope if I have a staff, I want to person who has a good programming skill. That's all.
Manisha?
Okay, so it's really difficult to give a prescription as to what kind of skills teachers have. It really depends on the kind of work and the kind of organization that you want to work for. And for example, for us in the PHIVOLCS, we have 4 technical divisions, and we have broad range of professionals and support staff here: geologists, scientists of the natural sciences, engineers, mathematicians, programmers, IT professionals. We have social scientists, development communication specialists, journalists, community and social workers, graphic artists, librarians, educators, and so on and so forth. So our positions in government, or our positions here in our scientific institute, are all competency-based. So each position has its own set of required competencies. And we have a very structured selection board, which I'm part of. And we not only look at your academic achievements, but we also tend to look for other things. And this is already integrated in our interview structure and the sorts of questions we ask. So we tend to suss out your leadership potential, how you resolve conflicts, how you communicate with your peers, also, and how you relate to others. And these are important things, I think, aside from the hard skills, which are in sciences, of course, and in these days you need to know a bit of programming, but also some people skills and things that will make emotional quotient, not only IQ but also EQ. So we tend to look at these things, and our purpose is to look at the applicants or the potential colleague who will not only have the competencies or the skills to do the work required of them, but also kind of personality that will fit our organization, especially that we are a service organization. And so this person should be able to fit organization and help us realize the goals that we have set in terms of our service to the community.
If I could jump in there really quickly, I think those EQ skills are something that we really look for as well too, and it really came to light during the recent Fakati eruption. We needed people who could be relatively cool under pressure, potentially for an extended period of time, and could also work really well with members of the team, communicate with government. In New Zealand, we kind of spin up a response to include the universities as well too. So these kind of EQ skills are something we look for as well.
Well, I definitely agree with most of what was last said, especially for the last part that Martin and Jonathan said. I think that the social part and the social skills, and it's very important because the work we do at observatories has a lot of pressure, and you have to deal with risk management, and you need to be in contact with people, with authorities that perhaps don't have the scientific background that we might have. Of course, especially depending on the different topic that you're working in. If you work in seismology, of course, we'll try to look for someone with university background in geophysics or someone that's working with geochemistry. And the scientific part, of course, it's good, but also the social part. I think it's very interesting and very important because sometimes of a part you're under stress. Also, the part that the people should have some kind of availability. I mean, most of the people working on observatories have to work Saturdays or even Christmas and part like that. And that's something that not all the people are willing to. And I think that's important, of course, depending on what part of the job that you're doing. What else? It's important, I think. No, I think that most of the things have been mostly said.